All right. Let's get started. We are working on assignment 6. My name is Nicole Freeman, and we are going to do a repeated measures Anova test. As usual, we'll be using SPSS. In our research today, we will be checking to see if chocolate has a statistical significant effect on one's attitude over time. We will obviously have to run the test repeatedly, hence the repeated measures ANOVA. The actual research question is, does attitude change significantly across time after consuming chocolate? The null hypothesis states that there is no difference in mean attitude over time, while the alternative hypothesis states that at least one point in time differs in the mean attitude score. So let's get started. We're going to open our data set in SPSS as soon as that pops up for me. I started SPSS over so that you can see. Yes. And here we go. So you notice that we have 4 columns, right? We have ID, attitude 0, attitude 1, attitude 2, and attitude 3. Here our variables are measured repeatedly. ID represents our participants, whereas attitude is 0 is without chocolate, attitude 1 is 5 minutes, attitude 2 is 1 hour, and attitude 3 is 4 hours. We're going to go to Analyze, which is our favorite. We're going to scroll down to General Linear Model. We're going to go to Repeated Measures. And you see our factor right here. We want to change this to time. I'm not sure why it's doing that. And then our levels, you saw we had 4 tests, so we're going to say 4. And we need each one to be added. And then we need to define those 4. So attitude, no chocolate, attitude with chocolate, move it within our subject variables, attitude after, well, an hour, and then 4 hours. And you see we have that in there. Then what we need to do is we need to go to options. We're going to click our favorite descriptive statistics. We want estimate of effect size, and we're going to make sure our significance matches. And then we'll click continue. Then we need to go to EM means, and here we got to move this time over to our display. We want to compare main effects. Right here, confidence interval, we need to go Bonferroni, and we're going to click continue. Right here, let me just check, make sure we have everything. Okay, click OK. And here's our lovely output page. You can see we have different types of information here. We're going to look at the Mauchly's test of sphericity, and then we're going to look at tests within size, within subject effects. So let's start with our Mauchly's test. Right here, you can see our 0.860, our 3.114, significance of 0.683, which is definitely much greater than 0.05. And you can see our lower bound over here. We can assume that sphericity is met because of that 0.683 being greater than 0.05. So we're going to go look and see what we can see in the mean. Right here, you see our means. This is before chocolate. This is after 5 minutes, and you notice that it does go up. And then you can see an hour, it's starting to take a dip again. And then 4 hours later, it obviously drops down even further. To kind of interpret this, what I would say is immediately after consuming chocolate or 5 minutes after consuming chocolate, there is a change in attitude that decreases over time. Let's look at our tests within subjects. Tests of within subjects effect. You see right here, sphericity assumed. for time, sphericity assumed for error time. We have the degrees of freedom 3, degrees of freedom 66, and right here is important, 0.002. And then for our significance, our p-value, and then partial ETA squared of 0.205. So if being 0.205 because of the number, it is let me pause because I'm losing my thought there. The 0.002 is greater than 0.05, so we need to reject the null hypothesis. The the repeated ANOVA test showed that the attitude changed across scores, changed significantly over time. There's an increase, or significantly over, there is an increase with the 5 minutes, and after that, it decreases over long periods of time. Now, our partial ETA squared is 0.205, indicates a large effect size. To understand chocolate consumption has a meaningful short-term effect on attitude and improve the best shortly after eating. Over time, it will decrease, telling us the effects are short-lived. This is our repeated measures ANOVA test.